morning. How we doing? Good. Oh. Excellent. Please go ahead and take seats. You don't understand. You have to stay. Eddie's stand at ease right now. Good morning, and it's great to see all of you. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. And you know, I'm sorry to be a little late, by the way. Not what we should be doing in the military, but things were a little busy this morning. And it is intentional that on every trip that we take, we stop and do an enlistment. Because we want to send a message to the American people that there is no higher calling and no greater profession than raising your right hand to defend your nation. And being willing to give up to and including your life to defend the Constitution and your fellow Americans. And so we're out here on an Arsenal of Freedom tour. We're out here talking to companies large and small. Out here in Colorado today, talking to two small space tech startup companies that are going to be part of space dominance that we need in order to ensure dominance in space, that domain that will determine what happens in that next conflict. And so we're out here talking to companies, motivating them to do more and build faster. But intentionally along this tour, we wanted to make sure we took some time to meet with recruits and meet with soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, Guardians at every stop as well, because they're the ones that will use those systems. Those systems are not effective unless they have qualified, trained Americans behind them using them properly and swiftly and with violence of action. And so ultimately the most potent and powerful weapon we have are these young Americans, willing to do difficult things, sign up to test themselves in ways that their peers just won't and can't. So when society talks about, man, that's a beautiful view. It's beautiful helicopters and beautiful Americans. When society talks about elites or celebrities or the 1%, or who we should look up to, I think the country should look right here. You should look right here at the real 1%. Look back there in the bleachers, the folks wearing the uniform. Americans who are willing to do what other Americans will not in order to secure them and defend them. Hold them up as heroes. You know, society, what we celebrate is a reflection of what we value, and we spend a lot of time celebrating vapid celebrities and clickbait online. We need to spend more time celebrating real heroes. And I celebrated, like all of you, our hockey team's incredible accomplishment last night. That's right. Pretty cool. And I agree, their goalie is the real Secretary of Defense. For sure. We celebrate them because we have pride in our country. And we're enthused when we go on a world stage and win gold, and it's incredible. It's a beautiful thing to see. But one of the coolest things I enjoyed was watching after the game. I can't remember the name of that particular hockey player, but he said into the camera, thank you to the troops who allow us to play this game. That meant everything to me. I hope it did to all of you as well. That's the kind of perspective I appreciate. They're incredible elite athletes who just achieved something for our nation, and we're all proud of them as a result. We think it's incredibly cool. But they took the time to recognize that it's all of you. These young Americans who are about to head off to basic training, do something difficult, get trained to be prepared to fight on behalf of your nation. That, to me, is the ultimate reflection of patriotism. The ultimate reflection of citizenship, of answering the call of your nation. And it's no surprise that recruiting numbers have broken record after record in the past 14 or 15 months, starting with the election of President Trump. There's a spirit in the nation, being proud of our country, proud of those that wear the uniform, our law enforcement as well, and ensure that we unleash them when they fight to win, and that we'll have their back. So yes, we've met historic recruiting numbers in 2025, and we're already on pace to outpace those historic recruiting numbers in 2026. All of you are a part of that, a reflection of that, and the real 1%. So thank you for what you're doing, and to the families, thank you for gifting us your most precious resource. We acknowledge that. And it's our job, and that's part of the reason why we're working so hard to clear out the debris, to get to basics, standards, accountability, lethality, training, readiness, all the things that will ensure that when it matters the most, they're prepared. That's why the golden rule I introduced in front of those generals in September in Quantico is a very simple one. do unto your unit that which you would have done unto your own son or daughter's unit? What decision would you make about how well trained they are? Or about whether or not you discipline someone who doesn't make the standard? Or whether or not it's all based on merit or some other set of quotas? Apply those to the way that you lead. And in doing so, it'll lead you to the place where you're ensuring those who are ready to fight are prepared. So to the families, that's our pledge to you every single day. And ultimately, thank you for raising kids that are no longer kids with perspective about God, country, and the Constitution. And now it's our job to follow through on that and ensure they're prepared. So we're getting back to basics. We're rebuilding the military, reestablishing deterrence. And that deterrence are these eyes right here, who soon will be trained, will be ready, and will be lethal, just as millions of Americans around the world are right now, and a lot of folks in our audience are here today. So thank you for everything you do. Thank you to those parents, to all Americans who are willing to put their money where their mouth is and ensure that our nation is defended. This is 250 years. In fact, the Navy does a nice job of putting it on the shirt. For 250 years, young Americans like these have raised their right hand. In fact, more than 250 years, because this is the anniversary of the 1776, and these folks are in the 1775 business, which is when we picked up a rifle before that declaration was even enshrined, because you have to be willing to defend the things that you say you believe in. You can't just say it, you got to back it up, and that's what these folks are doing here today. So God bless you. Thank you for your service, and how about we swear them in? All right, let's do it.